Hi there and welcome to the channel. This is the Real Stu and this is the Outpost Timelapse Part 3. We have our concept art piece here so you can get a sense of where we're coming from there, and we're going to just jump straight into the timelapse. So we've been working on the interior, of course. We built the roof just in the previous video, and now we're actually creating the floor that connects the interior to the outside area. And so what I did was the shapes there, they're yellow and blue. Again, those are assets from the factory environment that I made before. If you check my art station, you can see that environment. And what I'm doing now is I'm starting to block out the tunnel area. You can see I've added some stairs there, just leading up to it. Again, it's just a simple cylinder. I've cut it in half, and then I'm extruded out just to create the sort of bottom half of the straight walls that touch the floor there. With both of those tunnel areas, I'm then going to create this corner piece here. It provided a bit of a challenge, but it was a good challenge though. It was a good learning experience here. Just trying to think how these areas are going to connect with one another and sort of keep that consistent kind of curve, with the kind of curve shape in the ceiling. So really just what I'm doing is I'm lining up each vertex to each side there, as you can see, and that allows me to just make sure that it's all going to line up properly there. So eventually at the end there, I'm going to separate each of these tunnel pieces rather than being all one big piece. So wherever possible, I try to break a lot of these big parts into smaller areas and smaller chunks, because just for lighting purposes and texturing purposes, it just makes things a lot easier and you'll get a better result. Just block it. I'm actually doing the sort of outer shell of the mesh as well. I'm just trying to make sure there's going to be no light that comes in. I tend to find that you get a lot of lighting issues if you start to bring in like a plane inside Unreal Engine. That's why, just kind of as a general rule of thumb, I like to make sure there's at least a bit of thickness with every asset that I make there. Here I'm just applying all the different smoothing groups as well. Just lighten it all. Make sure I'm happy with it as well. And I'm also making sure that the tunnel meets the same length as the floor that I've made. That's what was good about bringing the floor into 3ds Max. We don't have to worry about scale or if things are, the right size. We can just work straight from the floor and build up from that. So you see the kind of alignment there, making sure it's at the corner, just so that all the objects snap together, all in the same area. So we don't get any misalignments when we bring it to Unreal Engine. Closing up all the wee gaps. So what I'm doing here is, this is me who I've now actually separated each of the tunnel areas. Separating them, creating their own UV maps. And just something very, very basic. I'm just packing it very quickly as well. Of course, we want to throw this into the environment and just see how it looks. There may be other changes we have to make. And this is the corner area. Again, just fixing the UV maps for that as well. You can see they're very basic shapes, they're nothing fancy whatsoever. Those take just a little bit longer as well, because I'm thinking, even at this stage, how I'm going to texture them. In terms of how I'm going to lay out the UVs. I'm just making sure all the pivot points are all meet in the same area just before I export them. Again, this is the last tunnel area. Using text tools as well, which is a great bit of software. It's free. It's great for straightening UVs when you just select an edge. And here actually I'm adding the collision boxes as well, so that the player can't go outside these areas when they get in there. So I think Unreal Engine 4 does have its own, you can use like automated collisions, which can work in a lot of cases, but I prefer just to make my own. Certainly for pieces like this. As you can see, it's very basic blocks. enough just to create collisions though for the objects. And here we're just bringing it back into Unreal Engine 4. Each part. Both the pieces in, I put the third one in. Actually, what I realised was the third part actually blocked out one of the areas, so I then used the corner piece again, just so you can get access to the entrance area there. I believe I edit this just so that I can do that. Yeah, so I'm taking the sort of previously made tunnel, yeah, and just filling in some of the gaps there. The good thing is, because we've made the tunnel already, you can literally just repeat it. I'm adding like the lighting as well. Just some basic spotlights. About the tunnel area here as well. We're starting to think how, you know, the interior is going to connect to the actual tunnel area before we get to the outside. I'm taking these stairs that actually lead down to the interior area and then bring it to 3ds Max so that I can start working on how the actual sloping tunnel is going to connect to that area. That's all I'm doing. I'm just fleshing out just the basic rooms. We're not concerned about props or anything like that. That's definitely like much further down the line. I'm just getting the area built out there. Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error. It's bringing it into 3ds Max and bring it back out to Unreal Engine 4, seeing how it looks. This part was a wee bit tricky because there was little gaps and stuff in between like the tunnel areas and stuff, so I was trying to build the tunnel accordingly so it would block out a lot of those areas. A lot of back and forth, but fine. Again, I'm trying to close up all the areas, making sure the vertex points are reaching, or sorry, lining up to the sort of surrounding vertex points. That doesn't seem off. Add some kind of resolution there, some just because the curvature there, it can look a wee bit boxy if there's not enough edges in there. And just bring it back and forth from there. And that's why I'm never too concerned about UV maps or anything. There's no point spending a lot of time doing anything like that at the moment. I'm just taking the tunnel piece, adding like a shell modifier on it so you can quickly add thickness to it. And just taking it from there. So I'm trying to just go back to like a very basic tunnel shape. Sometimes it's easier just to do that if you find that an asset isn't really going where you want it to go. Just strip it back to the basic shape. There we get some gaps there. I'm adding some edge details here, just bringing some trim thickness there. You know, so I'm trying to get in a position where it's basically just blocking out the outside area. Usually I like to just work on like one half at a time and then just copy it over, because why give yourself twice the work, right? Yeah, so here eventually I get some of the smaller shapes, smaller walls, and I just use that to block out a lot of that area. But when I get objects like that are used for that specific purpose, just to block out areas, I try and like make it like a feature of the environment as well, to make it look as though, you know, it's part of the actual design, rather than trying to block out, you know, like an issue. Even here I tried to build like a curved wall that blocks out that area. Yeah, so it's almost creating like a frame around the tunnel there. Again, just copying it right over, resetting the X normals so that it isn't see-through. See that we're getting something there. I realise, you know, there's actually a gap down the bottom there. So I'm just using existing geometry just to fill that out. No point starting from scratch if you can reuse assets. I try to use assets or reuse assets as much as possible. I always think about performance at the end of the day. You know, if I can use less assets, then that's better. This is like the pillar detail just for the lower part of the tunnel there, so add some detail there, fleshing out a bit more, but making it interesting as well as functional. I'll try and like throw the sort of player start in there as well, run about, just see how it feels. And we're in the landscape tool here, and I'm just trying to get rid of some of the visible landscapes on the interior, which shouldn't be there, of course. Then I'm just reorganizing all the assets I made there, so go back to the concept piece there. Yeah, so you can see that I've been blocking out the tunnel area there, so that allows us, of course, to come out from the interior to the outside area. It's quite a challenge that, but you know, I certainly learned a lot along the way just as I was building it there. Thanks for checking out this video. So I've been The Real Stu, and if you do like the content here, like and subscribe, and also you can follow the project behind me live on Twitch. Just look for The Real Stu, the link's down below, and I'll see you in the next video.